Student at U of T committed suicide recently. And that always hits home for me because, that's almost the way I went. Whoever you are, you wouldn't be hearing this right now. And the students flew into a rage, as, groups of people are wont to do when one of their own is disadvantaged in some way. But what they demanded struck me as odd. They wanted the University of Toronto to increase access to mental health facilities, like therapy or meds or psych appointments, I'm not sure. More doctor stuff. And all of those things are well and good, but that's not going to fix the problem. It's only going to stop the bleeding. To give it a bodily analogy, I suppose. Let's say someone's got an artery going. Just put a little band-aid on it. It's not going to help anything. You need to do surgery. Quick, otherwise it's going to bleed out. Let me think of something better. Here's a good one. Let's say the squirrels are sneaking into your garden to steal your fruits. If you just put up a sign that says, "No squirrels allowed," nominally, sure, it does something, but it doesn't really attack the heart of the problem. That made more sense in my head. What I'm saying is, finding remedies for the stresses of everyday life is cool and all, but the best way to fix that is to attack the stress of everyday life. What caused that student to believe that there was no alternative? That there was nothing else that they could do? Because they were a student, I'm willing to bet it had to do with schoolwork. Although, it definitely could have been something to do with family or personal life in general. School is hard. And I hate it. I think I've hated school since I was in grade 10, I think. But I love learning. School just fucking sucks. It's like you're funneled through this endless tunnel of shit that you don't really care about, but people say that you'll need. And then at the end of it, you're supposed to feel good about learning that. And all the while, you're losing sleep and you're stressing out. I don't know about you, but at the high school I went to, people were fainting in the halls. It was a real problem. They had like a first aid team on hand. They would just respond to this. People were so stressed out and constantly busy. And for what? And for what? What did they gain? For some people, that's the life, man. But for everybody else, like I know myself, I couldn't keep up. I couldn't keep that pace up if I tried. That's not to say I did try. Definitely didn't. And I regret it. But, god damn, dude. It was terrible. It's terrible even now. The school system definitely needs to be reworked. Somehow. because it's too much. It's too much for the kids. And it's not fair. Every challenge we place in front of someone young is almost always the hardest thing they've ever done. You know? And we just expect them to handle it. And we expect them to become doctors and surgeons and engineers like it's fine. Like they're not people that need help. They need to relax. It's not fair. If I were suddenly, for whatever reason, in charge of planning a curriculum for like 4 years, I would make it so that you had like a 6-year maximum, and you just spread out your courses however you wanted. Like you could do 4 one year, 6 the next year. You could split your year in half so that you could do like grade 9 math one year and then grade 10 math the next year. I would lower the amount of shitty prerequisites that no one cares about. I would do my best not to rush my students. Because I think the first place to defeat this idea that life is a race is school. We get into school and we're told that you gotta get good grades, Gotta be in clubs, gotta be friends with the teachers so they write you a letter. I don't fucking know. I didn't do any of that. But like, gotta go. Your actions begin to matter now. And as much as that is true, life is not a race, and it shouldn't be treated as such. Or rather, it's not a race that we're all running against one another. It's just a race that we're running against not ourselves per se, but like, look at it this way. You know there's a start point, and you know there's a finish line, and you just gotta keep going until you get there. Sometimes you get tired and you walk. Sometimes you jog. Sometimes you run. But what's important is that you finish, not how quickly you finish or how well you finish. Not about whether the other guy looked cooler than you when he finished. You just gotta find your own race and run it. It took me a long time to learn that, and I wish I knew it in high school. It would have saved me a lot of grief. Gotta get good grades, gotta get into a good college, gotta get a good job. Then maybe you can start doing what you want, but only as a hobby. We really need to deeply examine the messages we give children. Teenagers, even adults. And we definitely need to fix the school system so no more students fucking kill themselves.